You are listening to the Splinterlands AMA. Stands for Ask Me Anything, and you'll find out that the players will ask us just about everything. With me today, this is the voice of Aggro, and with me today is one of the co-founders, or the other co-founder of Splinterlands, which is Matt. Matt, do you want to say a quick hello to the folks?
Everybody, happy Friday.
All right. I don't know quite where I want to start. Actually, I can go. We'll start where there's not that many things. If you go back to my last message, which was yesterday at 7 a.m., I think I'll start there. We do have Night AV here, so why don't we see if there's any updates from the YGG crowd. Night, are you here?
Hey, Agro. Yeah, I'm here.
All right. I know that we have kind of a packed one, so I want to keep this a little bit faster than normal. But if you want to give me a couple talking points or updates about YGG and what you guys are up to and what you're seeing out there, please, by all means.
Yeah, two or three things. So one, we've had kind of a weekly stream going that's Splinterlands focused. I think it happens usually evening time in the U.S. On Saturdays. It's actually expanded past the limits in Discord, so we're trying to find a bigger venue to start hosting it at, but there's been a lot of interest. That's pretty exciting. On the sub-DAO front, so YGG is a Yield Guild Games, is what that stands for. Is a kind of a DAO of DAOs, of gaming DAOs. Splinterlands looks like it's going to be our second one. Kind of all eyes are on it because there's kind of a lot more earning potential than our first one, which was League of Kingdoms. The design for that's kind of going on right now. I'd say I think we'd like to have a document out about that by the end of August is kind of the plan. I don't have anything specific to say on it other than if you're looking for inspiration or hints about what might be happening there, look back through the archives and at the League of Kingdoms one, and you'll kind of get an idea of how we kind of approach that.
Okay. It sounds like all things are green. You guys are pretty happy, expanding away, and I just keep seeing a ton of players, and the Scholar, people asking me about Scholars has died down a little bit, but it seems like there's plenty out there. I mean, our rental markets are through the freaking roof.
Oh yeah, there's tons of excitement, and it's still growing. Like I'm interested to hear your numbers and see your stats. I haven't been keeping up with those as closely lately, but no, it's crazy over there and over here.
Oh, it's absolutely absurd. I mean, we did 9,000 registrations yesterday, and out of them it was like 4,500, which is near 50%. Also bought the spellbook, which is the single best day in the history of Splinterlands. So. I've been telling people because of just how much, as we've expanded and the battle stuff was still on chain, I was like, all right, guys, I need everybody to not do quite as much on the media front, and we're not going to push out some articles this week. We're not going to do anything. We're going to be calm and cool and collected, and just give it a week to sort of before we go back to work. And we still had the single best day ever, which was yesterday, in terms of growth for actual live players.
Fantastic! It's amazing. Yeah, it's a 50% conversion from sign up to spellbook. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, free to play would be drooling all over this. Free to play is going to be 1-2%, certainly not 50. And, some of that is like we have email campaigns and people come in that might have skipped or passed on the first round and come out like 3 weeks later. But all that stuff averages out anyway. So, yesterday was just the biggest day ever, and it's absurd. All right, I think because we have such a busy week this week, I'm gonna call it there. But man, I hope when I put you first and when we talk first, I remain as bullish and excited about YGG and how you guys are bringing tons of gamers and your community over here, and it's just awesome to have you represent them, and also that whole crew to exist and recruit players and help teach people what the challenges of free to play and the joys of play to earn, and how the latter is vastly superior. And I'm glad we're not the only people that have to educate about that.
Well, thanks as always for having us. No, we're thrilled to be a part of your community, and we'll keep hitting the bricks and doing what we can to help out.
Awesome. All right, that was Knight AV. He was from the Yield Guild Games ecosystem and one of our great partners here over at the Splinterlands. All right, Matt, I just gave some numbers about, explosive growth and craziness. You've been dealing with some of that explosive growth and craziness. Do you kind of want to give us an update on some of the servers, the battle system, how that's going, what's left to do, and then give maybe a sense of some quick priorities for folks if it's still ongoing, if there's more stuff, or are we back to the roadmap as per normal?
Yeah. So definitely things have been a bit crazy, to say the least. And I think I can answer a bunch of the questions I saw in the AMA chat, going forward with saying, we know there are still a lot of issues. There are lots and lots of issues that have come up because of the growth, not just like scaling and servers and things. And all of our efforts are going through all of those issues one at a time, or sometimes in parallel, and just trying to get them fixed. So that is our, anyone who's asking questions of XYZ is an issue right now, are you working on it? Yes, we are. Everything that's coming in is customer support issues. Our goal is not just to respond to the customer support issues, but actually fix the problems that cause the customer support issues. It's just that there are lots and lots and lots of different issues through all parts of different aspects of the game, from purchasing, from creating accounts, from transfers to external chains, whatever it is. So it's going to take a little time. We're definitely not done just because we implemented the changes earlier this week. And those also had some issues, nothing too major, but that we're still working through and resolving. So we're still going to need people to be patient with us for a little bit, and as we go through and start resolving all the issues that are there and dealing with all the requests and problems. And only once kind of that's all in a good place, then we're really going to get back to the development. And that's also part of why we haven't released the roadmap recently, is because we need to wait till that's all done, and then we kind of need to re-review everything that's outstanding from a development perspective, and figure out kind of updated dates and times for those things. But that's kind of where we are in all that.
Can you, what happened with the battle system? I know that we've posted some things about it. Do you just want to kind of give us a 20-second rundown of what changed, how it's working, and do you have a sense, like, how many games did we play yesterday?
No idea. We can look it up, but there was lots and lots of battles every day. And so the recent update was to move the battle-related operations off of the blockchain. So they're still, the operations are still created the same exact way as if they would have been sent to the blockchain. They're still signed by players' private keys, Hive blockchain private keys. So those transactions, the content of those transactions can still be validated as coming from the owner of those private keys in the account. But in the past, it would take like 4 to 6 transactions on average per battle on the blockchain. And while the Hive blockchain can definitely handle that number of transactions, it definitely, the rate at which we grew caused a bunch of issues for Hive nodes and our servers processing all those transactions, resource credits, all that stuff. And we were looking at, okay, how can we fix all those problems? But at the end of the day, we're like, even if we resolve all of that stuff, which we could probably do for our current level of activity, we want to grow even 10x more from where we are now. And just looking at that, we were like, it's just gonna constantly, be an issue for us. So that's why the decision was made to move, all the unnecessary things off the blockchain, but still utilize the private keys and the verifiability of all that. And I think overall that's the right way to go. It's instead of just figuring out how we can keep shoving everything on the blockchain, it's better to think about what really needs to be on the blockchain and what doesn't, and how can we use it more efficiently. And that'll just let us, hopefully grow 10x or more without running into any more issues, because our servers can scale very easily, thanks to web services and that stuff. Whereas blockchain stuff can't scale easily.
So
that's where we are there.
How do you think it's going since it got implemented? My feedback from the Mavs has been it is blazing fast. Is that your experience looking at the back end? Are we out of the woods? Are we set to grow? I mean, I know we still have other challenges, but is at least the key thing of just playing the game? Are we in clear waters for now?
Yeah, I mean, it's blazing fast because you're no longer waiting for the transaction to get published to the blockchain and then for us, our servers, to read the transaction from the blockchain. Just send it directly to our servers and process instantly for the most part, which is the benefit, obviously. And yeah, it's all. There's been a number of issues that luckily none were major, but we've spent the past few days pretty much exclusively fixing those issues. But everything's running very well, and this should let us scale nearly indefinitely as far as number of battles goes, which is obviously the main thing. So I mentioned there's still a bunch of issues with other things around the game, but as far as number of players and number of battles happening, I think this should solve the scaling problem for as far as I can see.
Awesome. Well, let me go through some questions, and we'll see what else pops up here. I have
to help my wife in really quick in just a couple minutes, so I'm gonna have to jump off for just like a few minutes.
All right.
I'll let you know when it happens.
Great. But then you'll come back?
And I'll come right back on.
All right.
Just
that sounds good.
Hiatus.
All right. Aoni, up here at 11:13 a.m. yesterday, is asking, why is the Dark Energy Crystal Pool and Binance Smart Chain not on Pancake Swap like Splinter Shards, but instead is on this Cub DEX that has a deposit fee of 2% and a very low TVL and low total. What is the TVL? Total value.
Total value locked. It's just the
total value locked.
amount of value in the pool.
And a low return on investment. So I guess maybe less on the details, but why is DEC on Binance Smart Chain, but not on Pancake Swap?
No, it is on Pancake Swap. It's a Pancake Swap pool. It's just that Pancake Swap, the organization, is not giving out rewards for that pool like they are for the SPS token, and that's just because we kind of made a deal with Pancake Swap to get rewards for the SPS token, but we haven't been able to do that for Dark Energy crystals. So the pool is a Pancake Swap pool. Anyone can make a Pancake Swap pool between any two tokens, and the Dark Energy crystal BUSD pool is a Pancake Swap pool. Then the Cub Binance platform allows you to put your LP tokens from that pool into Cub and earn rewards on it that way. Now, whether or not if you want to take advantage of that and earn the rewards that are available there or not, is up to each person. But it's basically that's the platform that offered rewards for Dark Energy crystals when that was released, months back. And for SPF, we were able to get a cake farm and syrup pool on Pancake Swap.
General Dark Chief at 4:16 p.m. Do potion quests decrease the chance of having a legendary card? The short answer is no. It's been weeks with a potion quest for me, and I only have common and rare cards. Definitely not. Question 2, wouldn't it be nice to have Divine Shield be activated when poisoned? Well, Divine Shield probably stopped the damage, but then you had the effect. Can you get...
Well, no, currently Divine Shield doesn't stop poison damage. So that's, I guess it wasn't intended, but, so you could call it a bug in the code, but I'm not sure if that's something...
It might be a
we're
feature.
going to fix or not.
Yeah, it sounds like a feature. Could we have the number of players in each rank at the end of the season? Just the total number of players? That sounds like one of those things.
I don't have that data available now, but I'm sure someone could compile that.
No. I mean, he's looking for, like, how do we know how many people are in each league? It would be a nice number to see. Like, just, you see the top ranking, and it would say out of X many people.
Oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I guess that's something that could be added.
Just to confirm the details of the seasonal changes from this post, at the end of the current season, will you now get rewards based off your final league instead of your highest league, or does this only start for the upcoming season?
Yeah, I appreciate that question because that change unfortunately didn't get finished in time for this season. So for this current season, nothing's going to change, and when the season ends, and that should get in for next season. We were definitely planning to do it, and it was a little more work than anticipated, and then had to switch over to the scaling updates and the issues there. All right, I got to run for like 2 minutes, so if you want to have someone else talk or answer questions or whatever, I'll be back as quickly as possible.
Is there any disadvantage to using MetaMask for swapping dark energy crystals to BUSD and the other way around? As opposed to what? Like you can't use your Hive keychain. You have to use something like MetaMask. I don't know if guys have other suggestions. Layla Hell is asking, with the arrival of the new players, old cards are more rare and more expensive, making all the rental prices going up. For the power, for example, how is the economy looking on your side, and how will it evolve in the coming weeks, months? I mean, financial questions are pretty hard for me to answer because I don't know the answers. This market continues to like blow my mind every single day. We're just seeing huge demand for everything that's here. So, like there's over 300,000 cards rented. Players are making more than $9 million. If you had asked me, are we going to get anywhere close to that within the first month of launching the thing? My answer would have been no. But, what do I know? Yeah, you guys are crazy. You just love this game. You love the rewards, and everybody goes nuts for it. So, I would say we're just exploding. And the one piece that seems like it's going to go pause to that or give an answer to that is going to be when we release Chaos Legion and Rift Watchers or Rift Walkers. Anyways, like the new dice replacement. So that stuff is coming, and I think that will provide some new, less expensive cards for people to get in on the game. It may change prices of current cards, and that's something to look at. It may change prices of dark energy crystals. I have thoughts on what it will do, but I don't know this stuff. I can't tell you with 100% certainty. So you guys have your own guesses, and ask Neil. He knows everything. All right,
I'm back, by the way.
Oh, good. There are not much news surrounding the game and roadmap. Do you plan to shake things up in the coming weeks now that the game have attracted more players? I mean, we have a really aggressive roadmap. It's just that 100% of the dev resources have been focused on scaling. So we'll get back to that shortly. Do you plan to release a more in-depth lore? Well, we did write a 250-page book, and that exists. Maybe that's something that we can go to. There's a website for it at splinterlore.com, and you can go check out Splinter Lore. And I think we're gonna be launching some collectible NFTs pretty soon, which are not like in-game things, but just stuff that you can collect and cool pieces of the game. And I think that'll mostly be tied to the Splinter Talk IO and the Splinterlands token there. Any deep roadmap of all new functionalities, game mode, new cards, lands, usage, next steps? So we have Guilds V2 is ready to ship, and we just need to be in a position to ship it and take care of it. We have lands are in the work, but that's still taking time, and we're a little bit behind there. We have.
I think we answered that already. Like we're focusing on scaling right now. We're going to get to the roadmap stuff when that's done.
Yeah, I think he's just asking what's on the roadmap. Anyways, are you planning merchandising? Yeah, not a ton of that. Like we're a digital thing, so if you want our stuff, you'll mostly have to get it digitally. Randomly, we have done some real card stuff, but I don't know. That's a lot of work. Are you looking at competitors, and what's your take on them, like Magic and Gods Unchained? Yes, we look at them, but whatever. We just do our thing, and if Magic and other people are out there, great. I think it ends up expanding the pool of players who like trading card games. And then hopefully they'll find their way here because you can actually earn money while playing and have a collection and own assets. And as for the other games, Gods Unchained is like, it's a different style of game. You know, if you want to play turn by turn games like Hearthstone on the blockchain, then Gods Unchained is a better fit. But you know, we have a gameplay that is unique, that's different, and you know, kudos to them and Skyweaver and other games that are out there. It's just not what we're doing. Question, any measures to ban bots? They start becoming more frequent now in lower leagues, and they somehow use counter cards despite the option to not reveal cards. We're not going to ban bots. You know, we do everything we can to make sure that they're not prioritized or incentivized or anything. But we're not going to ban accounts. So that's part of the joy of blockchain. When do SPS liquidity provider awards start, and which pools will count? Matt, do you have timing on that?
I don't think we have timing on it, but as far as which pools count, I mean, it'll probably be the main, you know, the main pools that are available. You know, we'll see if it makes sense to do Pancake swap at first, since they already have pretty significant rewards with cake tokens, but there's Hive engine pool, and then there'll potentially be, you know, Uniswap or something on Ethereum available, but not on timing on that yet.
All right. When's the next AMA? It's right now. We'll figure out the next one later. Question, how is the land item production going to work? Consumable items are permanent. You will have resources that are generated from some types of land. You will have crafting buildings on other types of land. You will spend resources to make items. We're still discussing whether there's anything consumable or not. I'm pitching maybe some portion, a small portion, are consumable, but the vast majority of this we imagine to be permanent. Will there be new sets of items retired, introduced over time? Yes, there are cards that in their life cycles all over the place. So I imagine that we'll do some of that for the items and spells, but you know, like anything else, there might be some that have higher print runs than others. Can you ballpark how many items per week can be produced for a single plot? No, we can't. Specific numbers like that are going to be later. Any details yet on SPS use for the Chaos Legion presale? Matt, do you have? Are you anywhere in that? Have we thought about, like, is it as, you know, how much you stake? Is it a minimum stake? How do you envision the presale for that going?
My thinking was just simply like, you know, X amount of SPS staked per pack that you're available to purchase during the presale. So, you know, every player will have a limited amount of packs that they're able to be purchased based on the amount of SPS that they have staked. And, you know, we're planning on having some benefits and rewards, like other pre-sales, you know, with some maybe promo cards or other advantages, buying, you know, a larger number of packs in the pre-sale. And in order to do that, you'll need to have enough SPS staked in your account.
Yeah, two thoughts I had would be something like maybe we're getting pretty close, so anything more fancy might not make it. But you know, we're not doing a Kickstarter, so if we wanted to do legendary summoners and let players come in, I would think that the top 6 accounts that are buying in the pre-sale would be eligible for getting their own legendary summoner account. And then if we really get ambitious, the one other thought I had was we could do this as like an airdrop where you'd get a voucher based off of SPS. And so it would cost you $2 and a voucher to actually purchase. Those were my 2 thoughts. And I don't know what we'll get to here. Any thoughts on how renting land would work with producing items? If an item took 2 days to craft and the renter cancels the rental on you after 24 hours, would you still be able to finish your item or finish it on the land and then be sent to you? I don't know. We're not quite there yet. You mentioned future plans and dream goals in the Mavs chat earlier. Any chance you should share some of these? That's a little bit too vague to try to answer on a speedy. Well, we have like a million questions here. 219 messages. Dark energy crystals are reaching 7 times the peg. Is it okay in your opinion, or do you want to bring the price down? Yeah, I mean, we built it as an algorithmic stablecoin, so I imagine that at some point this will go back. But I don't know. I think when card printing is in session, DEC will hopefully stay near $1, and then when card printing is not in session because we're sold out, it appears like it's going to creep up. But I don't know. I don't know how this stuff works. So, and you guys do things that is not my specific intention. Any thoughts you want to add to that one, Matt?
Say it's okay. I mean, whatever the price is okay. It's not going to like break anything or be a problem. But our goal in the design is that as the price goes higher, then more is printed, which will more supply. And I don't know what's going to happen in the future, and potentially there'll be additional things that increase the supply more to counter the increased demand. But we're not going to we're not like going crazy like our hair is on fire. Like we got to do something about our energy crystals. The market price is what it is, and we'll continue to work to adjust things as necessary, and hopefully in the not too distant future have that go to player-based voting via staked SPS token.
Question: what is the expected cost for the new guild buildings, in particular crown costs, so that we can make plans for how to spend our crowns as we wait? Wasn't some of that on the test server, or no? We have some.
Yeah, I guess I don't know it off the top of my head, but yeah, all the stuff on the test server for the test brawls should have been what we're going live with, as far as I know. I guess that could also be a question for Cryptomancer when he's available.
Yeah. What is the new operation for battles? Is there a new operation for battle, Matt?
Maybe I'm not understanding the question, but the operations should all be the same.
Okay.
It's not broadcast to the chain.
Any plans to make Splinter Shards versus HBD or DEC versus HBD on tribal decks?
I mean, anyone can create the pools, I guess. My personal opinion, it's kind of better to have fewer pools because more pools just splits up the liquidity more places. And I'd prefer fewer pools with deeper liquidity than more pools with less liquidity. So, if you want to trade SPS for HBD, just trade it for Hive and then trade Hive for HBD. And a lot of platforms like Pancake Swap automatically do that stuff for you. It would be great if Hive Engine at some point could, but my personal opinion is keep fewer pools.
My opinion is the opposite, that more pools is great, but we are working, putting my tribal decks hat on, we are working on getting stringed transactions. So just as Matt said, you take SPS, convert it to Hive, take your Hive and convert it to HBD. That's in the work. Is all the SPS supply presented on Hive Engine similar to DEC? I don't know what that question is.
It should be. I think he just means the total supply. The total supply right now is 200 million, and that's going to be changing only monthly for the foreseeable future until like the full DAO smart contracts are released. So yeah, it should be updated on Hive Engine.
Any plans for audits on the Hive Engine smart contracts? I mean, they go through multiple rounds. It's released to witnesses. It's released to a bunch of people. I mean, whether or not it's a formal audit, I don't know, but we certainly go through a pretty rigorous process before they go live. Jarvie's asking.
Yeah, I mean, just for anyone listening though, Hive Engine is separate from Splinterlands, so whatever they do happens on the Hive Engine platform is unrelated to Splinterlands.
When will you be able to slip in a round of rental backend upgrades? The main thing there is just like the protocol to tweak price changing. If you get like a giant stack of rentals you want to change the price on, it's something like 50 clicks, or it's 50 like submissions in a keychain. Any thoughts?
I don't. Those are one of the many things that we're going to get to after like the high priority like problems are fixed.
All right.
So I trust that you'll keep bugging me about it regularly, Jarvie, until it happens.
All right. Is the Splinterlands team or founders currently staking SPS in game for staking rewards? If so, approximately how many? Does the Splinterlands team and or founders plan to restake any receiving staking rewards?
Do you want to
You're more
give that
conservative here.
information, I'm fine with it. I mean, it's not.
I don't know. Let's see how that goes. I don't want to answer right now. Yes, we're staking. I don't want to give an exact number, and I don't know. I haven't even discussed with Matt or other team members if they're continuing to restake.
Yeah, I mean, I personally have no plans to sell tokens. Well, you know, I'm also like being conscious of not staking too many, you know, in the sense of not being, you know, taking over amount of control of the system. I don't know. So right now my focus is really 100% on like fixing the issues and getting things running smoothly, and I'll look at and deal with any, you know, my personal SDS stuff later. As far as other team members, we haven't distributed team member rewards in SPS yet, but we will be. But they'll be distributed as staked tokens directly. So, you know, if team members want to sell them, that's their prerogative. They'll have to just, you know, go through the unstaking process to do that. But you know, from what we've heard from many of the team members, they're all about staking and increasing their stake as much as possible. So.
All right, Brabro's asking, the two most common issues right now are spellbook purchases and credit purchases. There are a large amount of users who encounter these issues every day. Are there plans in the near future to spend some time fixing these? Yes.
We are spending time fixing them right now and have been on a daily basis.
Are there plans for creating an interface to be able to view bridge transactions for both Wax and Hive? This way, when new users ask about transferring their assets, we can look up their transaction and see what the status is. Brabro, are we working on that directly, or is that something that we want third-party guys to do?
Well, we're working on it directly on the back end, so our customer support people can look up that information. And once that's kind of all working and good, then we can expose that via an API or something for other people to be able to look at it too. I mean, there's nothing private there, but yeah, it's just a matter of getting that all done.
All right. Do you have a ballpark figure of how many Chaos Legion packs there will be in the series? And since that answer probably depends on this, can you tell us any projected numbers for active player counts in the timeline? Seems like you're well on the way to 1 million. Are you planning to scale Chaos Legion quantity for a specific target number of players? I know you guys want new players to be able to have an entry point through packs, and the goal is not a quick sellout.
We don't have a number yet, but we're gonna, yeah, it's exactly what you said. We're trying to target, you know, we're gonna have to do some estimating of, you know, the player base over the next year to the best of our abilities, and we want a number of packs which will make them, you know, like you said, we don't want a quick sellout. We want them to be available. But that being said, we do want advantages definitely for people who purchase early, like the airdrop mechanic that we've had in the past, and definitely other advantages for the pre-sale. But yeah, we want them to last a good while, you know, so people can come in and buy packs. But at the same time, we still want them to be scarce, not as scarce, obviously, as the cards in the past, but you know, we don't want there to be like just a ridiculous amount where they're just flooding the market. So it's going to be a bit of a balancing act, but we don't have numbers on that yet.
All right.
Even a ballpark, I would say.
Yeah, more than what we've done previously. I'm confident in that.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
Will there be a minimum maximum entry day for renters to lease out their cards along with the card rental price?
I don't know what that means.
I think they're saying like a minimum time to rent, maybe. Like you have to rent it for at least a week. I mean, we sort of moved away from that. All right.
Yeah, I guess if they're saying, "Oh, I want to rent my card, but not let someone rent it for less than 7 days or something."
Yeah.
I don't think we really planned on that, but.
Well, the rentees like it because they don't like it when the renters change the price on them and they lose the contract. So I think that's coming from the renters saying, "Hey, we want to know that if I rent this card, I can have it for a specific amount of time." It's something to put on your radar.
Yeah.
We don't need to answer this right now. All right.
Well, I think the idea was that, especially with Peak Monsters, they were going to have it automatically. Like you could put in through Peak Monsters, "I want to rent this card," and if the rental is canceled or ends for whatever reason, Peak Monsters will automatically find you another one. Which is, I think, what we were trying to go towards, rather than locking people in the rental contract.
Okay. All right. Well, there's multiple ways to solve it. It sounds like, and we'll try to get there. When Splinter Bytes mentions things like dark berries and fire crystals, are they alluding to items that may be mined on land, but not necessarily a fixed idea? Is it just more lore to help immersion? It's a little bit of both. I mean, Chris Roberts is an integral part of the team in deciding what is the lore, what is this land, what is Splinterlands, and what's going on there. And we can't put every single idea that a man has into the game, but a lot of the stuff that he creates and tells stories about will end up in it. So I'm not promising everything, but some of those things will definitely end up in the expansion as things to craft or things that you use like resources for crafting. I understand with the scaling coming soon and the astonishing amounts of hours spent helping and solving issues with the FAQs and other oddities that players have, and want to say thanks to all those who do the tech support, but I want to ask, will there ever be a pay to skip the line for assistance now or in the future? I mean, hopefully with that, I think the answer is no. But what we really ought to be doing is making sure that the good customer support starts with having a product that works. And we're doing everything we can to make sure that the product is working exactly as it should, that the transactions and the payments come in, that the spellbooks are created, and that, all the little weird bugs, like we try to isolate them and fix them and make the user experience easier so that, the question isn't, how do I skip this line? The question is, how do we make sure there's no line? And that's what our focus is on. All right.
Things aren't going to be like this forever, and hopefully for not that much longer, if we can help it. So, this should hopefully be just a short-term pain, and there won't be a line like Egbert said in the future.
Unit QM is saying, any fix in the works for this little bug that shows I have 0 packs in Hive engine or tribal decks when he in fact has many?
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that, but yes, now that I am, we should fix it.
All right. Simply Mike is asking, blog beginner already asked a similar question above, but you skipped it. That was a more friendly version though. When are you going to stop relying on the Mavericks to volunteer to provide your tech support and hire proper tech support? How many folks have we hired for tech support now?
And I think we have 5, and yeah, we're trying to hire as many people as we can really to help it. A lot of the problem was also that, the tech support people couldn't do anything because we had to get the proper tools in place for them to be able to help people or to look up things. And we had to fix the actual issues that were causing the problem. So, yeah, it's a really big problem right now, and we're trying to hire as many tech support, customer support people as we can, while also giving them the tools to be able to respond to issues.
Yeah, and trying to find people around time. It never stops. Yeah, I believe it.
So, I mean, if there's more people in the community that have been helping out and want that to be a paid thing, we've been taking people that are obviously knowledgeable of the game and able to help out, and we're happy to pay for their time to come on board and be part of the customer support team.
There you go. All right. How do you plan to improve the guild system, increase the number of places, for example? No, I don't see us increasing the number of places anytime soon. And the guild system has a whole update that is, sitting on the shelf ready to go. So you'll see a pretty big one. Question, does the new season end update start this season or next? It looks like it'll start in the next. What is the thing you appreciate most about each other? You go first, Matt.
I very much appreciate Aggro just, helping out with all of the things that I can't help out with. So, I'm focusing on the technical stuff, and Aggro is, working on a lot of the business management and running and, marketing and promotion and all the other parts of the business that I would just be totally lost with. So I definitely, and I think that a lot of people don't realize like how much crap there is to deal with just like business management stuff, like filling out forms and applying for things and whatever we need to do. So I definitely, this wouldn't happen without him doing that.
Yeah, I think Matt. So it's not just that Matt does tech support and helps all the players to the best of his ability, but it's that he's like insanely passionate about making sure that his product is supported well. I've worked with a lot of different devs over the past 4 years, and it's an undervalued quality to really think through not only who can build this, but if there's problems, who's willing to sit there and hold the hands of some people, or help when they're frustrated, and be a good sport about it when things are crazy like that. There's not a lot of devs in the world that can not only do the tech support side, they can develop it, but they can't do that human element. And Matt's actually really exceptional and extremely passionate about it. My answer is generally like, screw them, I don't care, just, because I'm short, some of these times I get a short temper. I'm like, Matt's done an incredible job building this thing, and people are frustrated. But this is what makes Matt really good. He just says, hey, look, I'm sorry about it. I'm sure that's frustrating. Here, let me help and see what I can look up and do. I think he's just super professional about it. And man, I would be fired in the first day if I were on customer support. And I think he does a phenomenal job. All right, any plans to burn some SPS? I'm going to say yes, and then I'll leave it there. Is DEC pegged? Dark Energy Crystals is an algorithmic stablecoin, and if the price,
it's not. I don't know if it's an algorithmic stablecoin, but it works similarly to algorithmic stablecoins, where more is produced when it's above the intended value, and there's also mechanisms to increase demand for it when it's below the intended value.
All right. Why would they burn? No. Does YGG have a Discord? Yes, they do. Why would they burn SPS before the utility is even set up for it? Yeah, we're working on getting all the different utility of the coin up and running. Question: when the pre-sale of Chaos Legion will happen, and what will be the requirements? You're going to have to stake SPS if you want to be able to get in on the pre-sale, and the pre-sale is slated to begin in September. Question: are we going to hire more team members? I feel like Biz is barely getting air. Yes, we're hiring new team members. Wizardman says, I'm new to Splinterlands. I think the game looks nice, and I'm getting used to the different cards to be a better player. Well, welcome to the game, bro. Glad to have you here. All right. Question: is there a way to improve the UI, like when you were searching a monster, then you want to look and click at the monster, when you click back it resets? Would be good if when I click back it resets, and in some cases move to market. Yeah, I mean, we have a whole bunch of these tweaks, and Matt's been keeping notes over the past couple AMAs. It's just that DevOps is like the number one priority, so much above like little UI tweaks, but that's definitely there. Why don't you do AMAs on Twitch? I believe this is streaming on Twitch right now. Yeah, it's streaming out there now. So we do AMAs on Twitch. This is live. And question: what is a question? I know that's snarky, but actually, we put question in the front just so that when I'm scrolling through and trying to do this quickly, that we can find all the questions that you guys have and separate it from the chatter. Will the new cards coming out be coming with hard counters for some of the more popular strong builds like Llama Kron? What do you think, Matt? Are we designing Chaos Legion like independently, or are we looking at what's gonna stop the strong things now? How do you see it?
Yeah, no, that's definitely taken into account always when we design new cards. I mean, that's generally my preference is always, rather than nerf cards or change cards in any way, it's instead when we release new cards or new abilities or new whatever it is, to try to balance things out that way. So we're definitely going to keep looking to do that in the future.
Why are the devs selling? I don't know that the devs are selling. That's not what I see. Question: what will the payment options for the packs be once released? We're just doing credits and Dark Energy Crystals, right? Nothing too fancy. Yeah, so get your credits in order, stake your SPS, and you too can get some of the pre-sale packs. Question: how much will a Chaos pack cost? Are we changing the price, or are we sticking with what we've been doing forever?
Said in the past that I'm not going to say for sure until it's actually released, but I don't generally see a reason to change the price.
Yeah, neither do I. So Well, we reserve the right within the next 2 weeks to change our mind if market conditions make us think that it's best. But I do think it's fairly likely that we'll stick with the exact same model that Untamed had for some kinds of discounts for large pack purchases and a retail price around the $2. But again, no promises, but that's what it looks like now. What will be the use of SPS? There's a white paper available at sps.splinterlands.com, and it details all kinds of them. Can we use SPS to buy legendary cards and burn it, or chaos packs? Do you think we'll? How do you envision SPS and pack purchasing will relate to each other?
Well, I mean, in the near future, we're going to be adding SPS as a payment option for buying credits. So you'll be able to use it to buy anything that you can buy with credits, just like any of the other tokens. We were just, obviously, we were initially waiting until there was kind of a more stable price, and we're definitely there. And at this point, it's just in the backlog of things while we fix the current issues first.
Question: will the game fix the issue where it charges 750 DEC for quest potions and doesn't use the market price for DEC like the card market? Currently, 750 DEC is over $3 when it should only be 75 cents worth. Well, in the game, it's always just registered at 0.001. When we reference the peg, that's it. So some of what you're describing is a feature rather than a bug. And maybe there are some ways that we could change the display to make it a little bit more clear. But that is intentional.
Yeah, everything that's sold in the market, not in the market. Sorry, everything that's sold in the shop, is for a specific DEC amount. So, and that we don't really plan to change. I mean, it also, I guess potions are a little bit of a different situations. You can buy them with DEC or credits. I get where that is coming from. Versus things like dice, which you can only buy with dark energy crystals. So I'll say, I don't necessarily consider it an issue, but I agree it's something we should probably look more at.
All right. Will there be an event like 100% ECR for a day, or like hours, or more activity, please? Have we thought about selling ECR recovery for SPS or DEC or anything like that?
Yeah, it's definitely an option.
All right. There's no specific event. There's no event planned for that, but that's stuff that we've looked at and Matt and I talk about. But again, DevOps is currently king, so something like that's going to get punted, even though it's a cool idea. Question before
we put a stop on the questions.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Yeah. No more questions, guys. You're going to have to wait until next week. If somebody could put like a little sign or something that we're done answering questions. All right, question. Before you posted the first article about Splinterlands, how long did you expect it would take to sell out on your first card set of alphas? When we started, there wasn't actually a hard cap of 300,000. The players told us we really want a cap, and we said fine, it's 300,000. So we had no thought about selling out. We were just selling, and I think maybe we had a time, like a date stamp when we were going to stop selling them, and the players said no, we want a hard limit, and we said okay. Question: do you have any plans on improving the mobile apps of the game? Yes, we have full-time employees dedicated to that. It's just that the mobile stuff is harder because you have the same amount of stuff, but you have to get it on this itty-bitty screen, and it takes dedicated work and dedicated people, and we have to basically program the same thing a couple times over.
Yeah, I mean, they're working pretty much full-time on fixing issues with it now. A lot of the spellbook purchase issues and things have been coming from mobile, and then, we have to deal with the Google Play Store purchase process and the Apple purchase process. So, mobile's behind the desktop site, definitely, in a lot of ways, and we're just trying to catch up as best we can.
All right. When land is coming, I don't have an exact date. We're working on it. Question: how much SPS is required stake to qualify for the pre-sale? That has not been determined or stated. It'll be in the white paper before we launch, before sometime in September. Second part of the question: will there be limits put on the number you can pre-order based on SPS staked? Yeah, I mean it'll be capped by how much staking you're doing. Lusk is asking, will the amount of hassle you have to go through to begin Splinterlands and the amount of hassle to buy, sell SBS DEC be simplified in the future? Yeah, we have one of the places that we're looking at integrating is maybe getting some third-party apps to go do credit card purchases so that you can actually purchase things like SPS and Dark Energy crystals. We may actually be able to get that up in the not-too-distant future. A lot of the things that make this difficult are not, Splinterlands or technology, but government. So you can think that. Question Yonzaku 2OP, please nerf. At some point that'll be up to the community. How much SBS will be needed for pre-sale chaos packs and how much will it cost? It's cheaper than a regular sale. That hasn't been determined, and the cost hasn't quite been determined. What are your plans for the circulation of SPS and DEC to make them go higher up in value? We are not actively making DEC go up higher in value. That's, over time, that should revert itself back to the peg or near the peg. But in terms of SBS,
I said we don't actively make anything do anything with value. We just try to build as much utility and fun and stuff into our tokens and the game, and then the prices are up to the market.
Yep.
But the plans are all in the, for SPS at least, is all in the white paper.
Question, will there be a specific date for the next pack release? The pre-sale is supposed to begin in September. Will there be more land plots in the future via a Kickstarter? Maybe well down the road, but Matt and I don't have any near-term plans to introduce any other kinds of land anywhere. So maybe if there's whole new expansions to the game, then you might see some. But the card packs, we have stated from the beginning, our intention is to basically put out one edition per year. And there's no way that we can predict that accurately, but that's roughly our guideline. There's no such plan like that for land. Land is not the kind of thing that we're just going to roll out every so often. It's, what's out there is what's out there, and people are losing some plots. Well, that just reduces the number. Okay, question. Will people who have staked SPS in-game now have an incentive when the new packs come compared to those people who do it last minute? Well, there's staking rewards, so those that are doing it now are getting paid more SPS, which they can presumably use to get more packs. Is there a planning to rewards landowners? Landowners are getting SPS airdrop points, and they'll be able to go manufacture all these things in the game, or get resources in the game. There should be lots of reasons to hold, stake, and interact with your land. Question is,
I don't see any reason for landowners to be too upset with things right now.
Yeah, seriously. The plot that you guys bought for $10 in the first one is now $300. Is there any plans to make a notification for cards on cooldown? I see a lot of new players renting cards on cooldown, not knowing, paying attention, and asking why I can't use them. Maybe a confirmation notification or something like that for those cards. Isn't there something in the market already when you're renting that shows that they're on cooldown?
It just shows the little timer symbol highlighted, but I agree that's probably not enough. And we are planning to reduce the cooldown, which was hoping to get in this season, but will be for next season at this point.
All right.
So that should help there.
Can we toggle whether to show our staked SPS or wallet balance at the top ribbon of the page? I don't know. That's a small thing to consider, Matt. Staked versus liquid. I think it's probably going to stay liquid.
Yeah. I don't see why there can't be toggles for it, but I don't know. That's not a high priority thing.
All right. Do you have the number of battles that happened yesterday? Because I don't think Peak Monsters is showing battles in the hivedata.space one that's maintained by Rafalski isn't up to date. So I'd be interested in that number too.
Yeah, I'll see if I could find it.
Okay.
But, yeah, in general, I think after these updates, we got, just so everyone knows, we got these updates out for how the game works incredibly fast. So there's a lot of little details and things like getting other sites to be able to report on things properly that will come, a little bit later. But we were, you know, we needed to either get that out and working like real fast, or we were just going to have to shut down battles or severely limit it with the way things were going. So, you know, I don't know if people realize like how much of an effort it was to get that pretty huge change out in like a week.
Yeah, you guys did amazing. All right. Have you taken any steps regarding the high prices on rentals for beginners? Nope. That's all market-based and none of our stuff. Although hopefully getting brand new card packs out there should alleviate some of that until...
Yeah, this is a bit of an unusual time while we're not selling card packs. But, you know, once, you know, the existing card prices may still be very high, but, you know, once Chaos Legion is out, we hope that there's reasonably priced cards available for everybody.
Are you staking the rewards? Bro, everybody should be staking rewards. That's more fun. Question, what is the current circulating amount of the Dark Energy Crystal token, and do you plan to list the Dark Energy token on exchanges? You know, it's a pretty small cap coin, and there's not like gigantic volumes. So right now, if we're focused on any kind of activity for the coin, it's not for the Dark Energy Crystals. Although, you know, I think as this game gets bigger, you know, people just started randomly listing Splinter shards, L-Bank being one, and I think Hotbit. I've never even heard of Hotbit. Maybe I should have, but they just started listing it. So as our game continues to grow, both Dark Energy Crystals and Splinter shards, I imagine will be tradable on more exchanges that are looking to get in on that action.
As far as the circulating supply, you can see that on Hive Engine, probably easiest, like 460 million roughly right now.
Question, how is the far future vision looking for you? Are you looking to employ more people, more artists, more lore writers, more animators? I'd love a deeper lore and bigger world to get invested in. Glad you said that. That's actually one of my priorities. I'd like to, I don't know how many more lore writers we're going to do, but I do want to get more content out there. Story-driven stuff. I was just talking to Nate about that the other day. Really trying to get you guys some collectibles that tell stories about these different characters and get, you know, like League of Legends always, when they release a new character, they'll give you like some little background about them. And I would love to start getting stories and backgrounds about these characters in some kind of animated form out. I don't know how well we're going to be able to do that because, you know, Nate is one of the busiest guys on the team, but that's one of the dreams. When animation for card leveling, that's a cool one. Maybe that's, if it's just one animation, then we could get that out pretty quick. So I'll ask Nate about that. That's a good idea. Are the servers ready for massively increased player base for the end of season rewards in 2 days' time? Matt, are you guys battle ready for 2 days from now? You feel like we're going to be okay?
Yeah, so there's a specific issue that seems to happen at the end of the season. So I can say we've added a lot more monitoring and things so we can try to identify what exactly is going on. So I don't know for sure. I mean, we have increased our server capacity significantly, but you know, I can't say for sure that there's not going to be an issue at the end of the season in a couple of days, but I can say for sure that we're going to be monitoring it closely to try to identify what is causing that so we can fix it going forward.
Okay. Question, will the season ending rewards be the highest achieved or current rank? It's the highest achieved is what it sounds like for this season, and it will change next season, or the update will take place after this current season. Follow-up, if the changes occurred, what happens if renters decided to pull out of their cards at the last hour of the season, and this affected the majority of people renting to receive their rewards? There won't be any measures for this scenario moving forward. Well, it isn't going to impact us, and we're going to have to figure that out for 2 weeks from now.
You also can't pull cards in the last hour, so if you cancel a rental, it will end whenever the next 24-hour period is up. So, you know, that shouldn't be an issue, I don't think, but if there are issues, as always, we'll address them.
And this gets back to what Matt was saying, is that hopefully there's some fixes that are actually being supplied by Peak Monster, so that if you do lose a card, you'll get one that's the same. When will Splinterlands get its own category on Twitch? I don't know. That I haven't gotten there just yet. Question, when buy house with DEC? I don't know. It depends on how much DEC you've collected and the quality of the house. When SBS $10? Who knows? Question, why did the name change from Steam Monsters to Splinterlands, and do you have plans to change the name again in the future? Steam was branded to that specific blockchain, and once we introduced Tron into the game, we said, oh, it doesn't make any sense to just stick with just one blockchain as part of the name. So Matt looked around in the lore and said, has anybody used Splinterlands, or did we create this? And I said yes, and that is what changed us to Splinterlands. And as far as I know, there's exactly zero talk of us ever rebranding. We got here. This is it. Welcome to Splinterlands. When scholarship, you guys can go figure that out on your own. Question, does liquidity provided in the V2 Pancake swap pool also qualify for the airdrop, or only the V1 pool?
I guess, well, there's only one for the dark energy crystals. It's a V1 pool. That's all there is. So that's all you can do. And for SPS, I think there's only a V2 pool. So I think that, whatever the pools are that are available are the ones that count. There aren't other ones that I'm aware of.
Okay. Will you update the UI so it's clear that we get seasonal rewards according to the league we end in and not the top we reached? There won't be a change, so it's just what it is. Question, is there how to stop SGS airdrop like 11 months before estimated? I don't even know. Do you know what Decrypto Boo is asking here? Is there how to stop Splinter Shard's airdrop like 11 months before estimated? I think he's just being snarky and wants the airdrop to stop. Nope. We're going to go for the year, and you guys are going to take your Splinter Shard crystals, and you're going to like them. Question, if we rent cards in the end of the season, will we get the rewards from the current league or only our own collection power? If we rent cards in the end of the season, will we get the rewards from the current league?
When the change is implemented, hopefully next season, it will be whatever your league is when the season ends, so that that takes into account your collection power. Hopefully that answers the question.
All right. What is the team focusing on now that the scaling issues have been addressed? Well, there's still some problems. So, like, when there's problems, the goal is to go solve the problems, and those things come first before we roll out new content. So,
I think most of the technical, so the scaling issues as far as number of battles happening in the game have been addressed, but there are still a lot of other issues happening, both from, that come up a lot on this AMA, is customer support, scaling, and scaling from other parts of the business that we're still working on.
Okay. Question, when will you implement a way to sell multiple cards simultaneously at one price, or even just multiple cards through the website?
Does Peak Monsters have that? I imagine they would.
They do.
Yeah, that's generally we obviously, if you could tell from this AMA, we have like a ridiculously huge list of things to do. So anything that like third-party sites or tools can handle, we prefer that option.
All right. Question, there are cards left to be minted for daily chest rewards. Will something be done about it? There are a few cards left to be minted. Yeah, so the new reward cards.
There's going to be new reward cards.
Question, it's the arena rewards update that changes the calculation from highest rank achieved live currently or at the end. We've already talked about that. Question, will DEC go to 1? Laughing my ass off. Dice prices are already too expensive to buy. We can't tell you if or when. That is a possibility. The Splinterlands doc states that the intended price for DEC is 1,000 to 1 USD. However, at 7X, is that something to be worried about? If you're earning them, you're probably pretty thrilled about it. If you're spending them, you might be annoyed about it. So it depends on where you're at with that. Question, can we prioritize the ability to sell potions, even if it's for just 2 to 5 DEC a pop? Buying packs is an option for new players that don't want to gamble $20 on a new pack, and just a little bit of a portion DEC can help get into rentals. I don't see that happening. That is a feature, not a bug. We don't want that to be transferred. Question, will there be an ECR recovery adjustments next season? No, we're not randomly just giving you more ECR. Will there be a snapshot deadline for SBS staked for Chaos Legion presale purchase limits? Huh.
I don't think it's going to be a snapshot. I think it's just going to be, you know, if you have X amount of XPS stake, then you'll be able to buy a certain amount of Chaos Legion packs. And, you know, if you want to stake more SPS to be able to buy more packs, you can do that while they're still available.
Any ETA on player staking? It's coming. It'll be later. Also, when SPS prizes coming for tournaments. You know, I was hoping to I was delaying it to be able to go put that in, but you know, the dev team just is working on getting this stuff built and done and ready. So and just functioning right. So we have to pause a little bit to make sure that the game is working right before building this other stuff out. So I created tournaments through the 22nd. So my next deadline for possibility of putting SPS prizes in is the 22nd. Question, when can I use SPS to buy something? When it gets added, that's on the list of things to do. It just hasn't been done yet. What's the deal with Ubisoft and them carrying about 50K DAUs? Yeah, I have a conversation that I need to go have with them again and see what it means now that we actually have 50,000 DAUs and if they want to start partying with us more. But we hit the number to get the, you know, the problem with that number is that it's like the very smallest minimum before they might pay attention to a game, and we just hit it. So, you know, when we keep exploding and everybody is playing, and you know, we'll see what the AAA studios want to do. Are SPS LP incentives still happening? Yes. And will the DEC SPS pool on Tribal Decks count as 4x, 2x for the DEC and 2x for the SPS? I mean,
only for the SPS airdrop, only dark energy crystals count. The SPS tokens don't get you more SPS token in the airdrop.
Yeah, so I think that's a no there. But for the LP incentives, you know, Matt and I still need to figure out if those pools count. We'll see what we do. Question, when is SPS earning on battling? So that's another one, you know, we want that soon. It's just, you know, tricky to get all this stuff in there.
Yeah, we really don't have any answers to when questions right now. Like I said, we're going to be working on fixing all the issues as quickly as possible. And then after that, we are going to kind of regroup and update, you know, get out roadmaps and timelines.
Well, here's one we should be able to answer. When is the next AMA? We're going to go do that 9 a.m. next week?
Yeah, 9 a.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. UTC next Friday.
Okay.
What is next Friday? The 20th.
Yep. All right. So no more questions. Let's see what else is in here. Can we make sure the SPS prize remains above 0.3 until 2022? No idea. When it comes to Monster Curator, if we delegate SPS to it, do we still get the SPS airdrop for the SPT we hold? Yeah, I think it's based on what you own, not based off of how you're delegating. Right, for SPT?
It's how much you own. Yeah, like
okay.
what stuff that's delegated out counts to the owner.
More info on Chaos Legion cards, packs, burn value, price. We touched on price. We didn't talk about cards, or we didn't talk about packs and burn value. Matt, are we going to stick with untamed burn value, or are we punting on that question until the white paper?
Probably, but you know, nothing's final until it's released.
Yeah.
Also, I think, you know, Byzantinus kind of cut off the questions there when he asked about the next AMA, so that's already 10 minutes over. I didn't know if you wanted to stop now or keep going.
Well, I'm going to... a lot of this is chitter chatter now.
Yeah. Maybe we call it so I can finish up some stuff here.
SPS proposals go online as later. And... here, why don't you can go and I can go finish up answering questions. And anybody that wants to stick around can stick around. Matt, anything you want to add, just sort of before you take off, and just let the community know, and you know, anything you want to share, kind of before you head out.
I mean, you know, only that we are aware that there are a lot of issues. We are trying to do what we can to resolve them as quickly as possible, and I apologize for anyone who's been affected, but you know, hopefully we will get through this relatively quickly, and then it'll whatever is good. Whatever
Yeah.
is good.
All right. Well, Matt, thanks for being here. I'm going to keep answering questions because I'm like the community guy, and this is what I think I ought to be doing. But anybody that wanted dev-specific answers, Matt's going to take off and get back to work. All right. What can be bought with credits right now then? Well, normally you can go buy the packs, but we don't have any packs. And then you could go buy land, but we sold out of land. I think there's some skins that are available. And you can buy cards on the market. So those are some of the things that you can use that for. What's current high priority items and devs? Well, we're just really focused on dev ops and making sure that everything is functioning the way it's supposed to be. What else do we have here? Yeah, no more questions, guys, because we are over. I don't think I dropped off voice. Question, can we get a better screen layout to view the cards we rented and rented out? Something that shows the cards, days remaining, DEC daily cost, DEC remaining on contract. Yeah, when we started this, we had no idea that it would get this popular this quickly. We say stuff like that a lot. So I do think that rentals could use kind of its own boost in the in-game. But, that's that's a UI update that's a nice to have and not a must have. So I think we'll get to something like that eventually, but it's not right away. SPS proposals will come later. I mean, I can't tell you exactly when, but that's on the roadmap. People can and can't hear me. I don't know. You might just need to reconnect, Salty Nachos. Can we see the castle and keep cards today? No, I don't actually. Is Nate around? Let me see if Nate's in here. Yeah, I don't think Nate's in the chat, so I don't have a way to show you what that is. Okay. Oh look, Chance is actually in that top staking amount. Nice job, bro. All right. How much would the packs? How much would be the packs? Any idea? We said it's likely to stay at the $2, but I don't know. How much SPS for a pack? 1 cake was 1 pack. I don't know. We don't have specific numbers. We really got to look. Like Matt's whole thing is don't give a solid number until you're right there. Until the exact moment is done. Don't do it until then. Good tech support starts with a good product. Yes. Remark, there was a lot more to my previous message than the first and last sentence, guys. I did predict you would stop that at the first line, though. Man, you're out. All right. Well, sorry, Simple Mike. Just it's a block of text and a thing with tons of people in it. I tried to answer you to the best of my ability. Sorry if you're frustrated. All right. Can you develop a card wish list with notifications? I have several cards I'm waiting for better rental prices. It would take a while to scan them all several times a day. Yeah, that's like a nice to have. We can try to get to that. We release a story mode or something like that in the future. We've been spitballing around boss fights and how those might work. I think we have a plan for that, and that's probably the most story-like single-player thing that we'll have going. And maybe it'll be raids. I don't know. But those questions have been happening. Question: do you have any timeline on adding SPS to rank Tourneys and Brawls? No, but we want all of those things are priorities after DevOps are back. When in September does the pre-sale kick off? We haven't given a specific date. Our hope is early September, but all of that just depends on how long does it take to get bugs worked out. And getting bugs worked out is not, we do our best to code it in the first place, and then when it doesn't work, you go figure out what's wrong. So if that stuff is quick, then we'll hit our deadline of early September. And if that stuff is taking longer and we're having all these problems with battles and the game isn't working, having a functioning game is more important than beating the deadlines of like new stuff. So we will prioritize DevOps and a functioning game over when we'll launch next pieces. When SPS be listed in Binance, I can't tell you exactly when. We are working with a number of exchanges to potentially be listed. We'll see what that looks like. All right, that was you being sassy. Yep, I hear that. Could you add rented cards history for us to rent cards faster? Yeah, that again, all this rental stuff is nice to have, and we'll get there at some point. Is there a date for Chaos Legion? Starting in September. Question: once Dice runs out, will you be releasing a new special pack? Yes, and that's the Rift Walkers or Rift Watchers. I forget which it is. Can you change the SKU and the cost of buildings for Brawls so we can start more lower level guilds to help new players join? I think keeping the total DEC is fine, but can you make it less for the first few levels and more at the end? I don't know. We can look at that later. It's probably not going to change anytime soon. That's not like, I don't know. That part isn't like the very next thing that we need to roll out, but we can look at that. Chitta chatta. When PvE? Well, I was just saying we were working on some of the stuff for. We were just working on some of the stuff for boss fights. What else do we have? Question: Dice can only be bought with DEC according to current market value. The same cards per pack is that. And in game, it is told what it actually is. It at least you can buy pack cards with credit. But what about Dice? Yeah, Dice is specifically there to be something that you can only purchase with DEC, and nobody else can spend any other currency. It has to be that. So that's what you guys need to know. Have any planning to control auto buy bots on the market? Can't buy any good discount card. No, I mean, this is crypto. The whole idea is you guys get to. We're not going to try to determine if you're a bot or not. You know, there are some ways that we can do it, and the more that we push on that, the more likely it is that we can't even find out which bot accounts are bots or not. So it's a crypto game. It's decentralized, and we're not here to act like as a gatekeeper to your account. What we are here to do is make sure that there's as few advantages as possible to botting as possible. Are there plans to list SPS on more exchanges? Yes, and some are just doing it randomly. I mean, when LBank came on and Hotbit came on, both of them just listed. They didn't even talk. Well, I guess I spoke with LBank, but Hotbit just did it. I guess I went back and I checked my Telegram, which I'm not super into all the time, and I found a message that, oh, they're listing us. You know, like, I don't have existing relationships with them, so that was a bit of a surprise. Question: are you planning to create formats like MTG? Well, I haven't played Magic the Gathering in a couple years now, so I don't know what other formats there are. But you know, we want other ways to use your cards and other types of battles. So if you just mean like other play styles or other play like slightly different rules or totally different games, you know, capture this boat or something, then yeah, we're gonna go do stuff that's different than what you guys are currently doing. That's some of what the guilds are for. That's what the boss fights are for. I don't know. Other stuff is coming. Do you think Dark Energy Crystals will go back to its peg? Yeah, at the the latest would be something like when Dark Energy Crystals is no longer part of the airdrop, then it's certainly not going to stay at prices indefinitely. But it might come sooner when packs come out. That might drive it down. But I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, guys. When you guys ask me price stuff, you know, I have to say I don't know. I have my own thoughts and ideas, and if you guys want to ask me privately, I will tell you I can't answer that to you privately. We're just not doing it. All right. DEC SPS is the most important pool for the game. I don't see how it couldn't count for SPS liquidity pool incentives. Yeah, go tell that to Matt, and hopefully that will sway that decision. Is it planned anytime soon to be able to buy SPS in game with credits or DEC? So probably not, but again, we're looking. There's a third-party tool that allows people to spend fiat, and they could go get Hive, and then you could trade Hive on in diesel pools. So we might be able to help facilitate all of this. But this version, at least, I don't think will work with U.S. customers. So if you're not a U.S. customer, I think that might be an option for you. But we'll get there. I don't know. It's not because of us. It's because government makes things worse. Are there plans to make upcoming updates more visible in the game? Example, maintenance on this day planned at this time. I found many people that did not know the maintenance was planned. Reddit, even in Discord, another location. I did not see any tweets on planned maintenance. No pin in Telegram. And nothing in the actual game site about upcoming maintenance. The pop-up when you log into the game does not always show up, and the information does not always seem current. Really, is there plans to make official updates visible to all players in the game, not just Discord? Yeah, I mean, we do have the pop-up that happens, but, you know, some of those things are planned maintenance, some are not. So I don't know. We can try to communicate better. You know, we're certainly not the worst in the industry. We may not be the best in the industry, but that is stuff that we care about. It's just, you know, we got to build processes around this. All right, question. Any eye candy? No, Nate's not here today, so there's no eye candy for you all. Is there any consideration of printing higher numbers of rewards cards going forward? Yes, probably. Is there relief to guild building prices? No, not until something is different with the price of DEC. Hired for tech support, what qualifications would Splinterlands be looking for? We're looking for people that know the game and can answer routine questions and be a good sport about it and get paid some money to do it. And you know, we're up to like 5 people now. We're going to keep hiring a couple more. But you know, you need to be able to speak English and answer people with reasonable, thoughtful questions and not scam and not be a bad person. You just want to be passionate for the game, love the game, and help people that come to it. How many questions will be asked after saying no more questions? I imagine a lot. Will DEC be a stablecoin? It has properties similar to them already. It takes too long to rent cards by one by one. Is it possible to create a macro to rent the cheapest cards on the market? Yeah, you can do all of that with bots. You can also just go to peakmonsters.com because they are faster and better than us when it comes to rentals. Is DEC going to be stablecoin or not? It has properties like one, but you know, it's a market and we let markets do market stuff. PvE mode with PvE cards as reward that we can upgrade through time and compete in ladder. Is it possible? Better competition for low spenders. I don't know. We have some stuff. It's Rift Watchers. Okay. We have some stuff in mind with boss fights, but I don't know that it's going to be like, there's going to be competitive aspects. There have to be because there's more prizes. Is there a link to go learn about guilds? Is there a reason I couldn't be a beginner and start my own guild with only beginners? Yeah, you can be a beginner and start your own. There's posts out there that we put up about guilds, and they're on the Splinterlands blog. You'd have to scroll back a ways. All you need is 10,000 DEC to start a guild. You know, back in the day, that was just $10. You know, they're pretty reasonable. Yeah, can't tell you when stuff is going to moon. Any idea when the land part will be out? Yeah, everything is just delayed. You know, we're dealing with the fact that this game... here's how to put this into context. You know, when we started, it took us 3 years to get to 100,000 players. It took us 6 weeks to get to 200,000 players, and it's going to take us 2 weeks or so to get to 300,000 players. You know, this game has done 6 years of work in 2 months. So that's the kind of scaling that we're dealing with. And it's amazing. There's so much about that that's amazing. And it's just tricky. So things like when will land be out? When will maybe make all these other changes? I don't know. But you know, we're just doing our best to deal with how many Yahoos are coming in here and playing our game with us. You know, and hopefully you guys are being good to them and welcoming them to this community. Will each reward card cap? Yes, there's going to be caps. Where can we stream Splinterlands? Twitch and Theta seem like good places. YouTube. I'm not taking a break. I'm going to go answer all these things. Are bots legal? Oh, I made it to the end. Boom. Now I'm done. All right, guys. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for participating in this. I hope that I answered your questions. You guys are awesome. I love this community. I'll stick around and just be here to help support and move things forward. Just again, the thing about this is just this growth has been so freaking astounding. I haven't seen anything else like it. You know, it's just been crazy, and it's been maddening. It's been difficult, and I'm not even on the dev team. And like I said, I'm like the worst technical support person ever. So this really hasn't been my wheelhouse. But I'll tell you, this team is so dedicated. This team is like fantastic. It's led by Matt on the tech and dev side and on the support side, and he is just like so freaking passionate and so awesome. So you know, we're really just in as good of a position as possible there. I couldn't ask for a better partner. This guy's amazing. So, anyways, hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Hopefully you're enjoying your rental income and your gaming income and your SBS income and having fun with the game and treating each other well. And hopefully all this stuff is going great for you guys. But thanks for being here. Thanks for participating. Thanks for being part of this AMA. We'll be back next week in the morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. And you guys can just send us your questions for later. But anyways, thanks for being here. You guys have a great day, and many blessings to you all. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks, guys. Bye.